Hello, and on the gaming table today, we're taking a look at Command Decision Test of Battle. Now, this is a World War II game, and for me, this is a game with a lot of nostalgia. I've been playing this game on and off for a long time now, as you'll see, ever since the first edition. What I'm showing you here, Command Decision Test of Battle, is version 4 of the rules, and this is an old game. It's been around for a long time. The first version, or first edition, came out in 1986. And I picked up my first copy in about 1988 or 1989. The second edition was 1992, third edition 1998, and even this fourth edition of the rules came out in 2006. It's close to 20 years old, even in this edition. So yeah, it's a game with a lot of nostalgia, right? Some people will have seen it before and played it before, and maybe others of you know nothing about it. It is a game which has a little bit of a reputation. Some people feel it's complex or complicated, and I kind of get that. When you first look at the game, there can be a lot of data charts, there can be quite a few rules, but as you get familiar with it, it becomes a lot easier. I think really this game just suffers from a lack of learning resources that are online. This game, of course, came out a long time before the internet, and so there's just not so many resources around, not so many good ways to learn about this game online. And so I think that helps cause suffering for the game in terms of trying to get into it. Also, there's many other alternatives. There's a lot of other World War II games out there. I've played several of them myself, but I still come back to this one, and I'll kind of explain why and show you why I like it. So what I intend to do over a few videos here is give you an introduction to Command Decision Test of Battle, or CDTOB as it's called, and I'll get into figures and games a bit later on. At the moment, I'm still on an overseas trip. I'm away from my figures and my table, and I'm still painting up figures for this game. So those sorts of things will come later. But today, just a little bit of an introduction. So Command Decision Test of Battle is a World War II battalion level game. You, generally speaking, play a battalion level commander, or maybe you're commanding maybe a reinforced battalion or 2 battalions. You're kind of at that level. And one stand in the game is 1 platoon. So, 30, 40, 50 soldiers in a single stand. And you give orders at the company level. So generally speaking, in a battalion, you've got 3 or 4 companies, and so you've got 3 or 4 maneuver elements, basically. Think of it that way. But of course, each maneuver element consists of more than 1 stand, because a stand is a platoon. So your basic stand is a platoon of soldiers, that's something like that. And generally speaking, a company would be, say, 3, maybe 4 stands. And the company command is going to be in one of those stands, and that company command can issue an order to that group of stands, and they maneuver as a set of stands, something like that. Now, in a battalion, you're going to have maybe 3 companies, perhaps 4, depends on the TOE of the unit. And of course, you're going to have a battalion commander, and they can issue orders as well to their units. You may have some supporting resources at the battalion level, like mortars or anti-tank guns, or maybe a machine gun company. You could have some off-board artillery support as well. And maybe you've got some supporting arms like tanks that are helping you out as well. So you may have a platoon of tanks that is also able to order itself around the table. And so that's kind of a structure that you might have as a player. You've got 4 or 5 maneuver elements, and you've got some supporting arms that you can use to get your mission accomplished. It might look something like this. I did this one up quickly in map.army app, just to give you an idea of what it might look like, kind of overhead tactical kind of view. Here we've got 3 companies of infantry and a little bit of supporting arms from some tanks there, going up against a couple of companies of, say, Germans in defended positions perhaps. And on the table, it might look something more like this. Now, this is not a Command Decision game. This is actually a game of Battle Group I played with my friend Richard about 2 or 3 months ago. And Battle Group is a 1-to-1 scale game. So here, in this particular picture, in this game, 1 tank is 1 tank, and 1 figure is 1 soldier. But in Command Decision, what you would see here is you would see a company of tanks made up of 3 stands, and the soldiers, maybe a group of 3 soldiers, like in the middle of the screen there, that might be representing a platoon. So Command Decision looks a little different on the table, and you're playing at a higher level than, say, Battle Group. I do like Battle Group, however, I do like Command Decision as well. So that's just a quick introduction to Command Decision. I like the game because of the level, because of the kind of the tactical scenarios you can do and things like that. I do intend on putting together forces and things soon, and so hopefully you'll see that once I get back from my current work trip. But thanks for watching. That's all for today, and we'll see you again real soon.